Ellen, good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question.
Tell me.
Why are you vegan?
For many reasons. The first one is for the animals. So I've always been an animal lover. In France, I don't know if you've heard of Brigitte Bardot. She's like a very famous French actress, and she's very famous for the love of animals and stuff. So all my friends, they always called me like Brigitte Bardot. And so yeah, the first reason is for me it doesn't make sense to love animals and to eat them. It's not logical. The second reason is for the planet.
For the planet?
Yep. And the third reason is for my health, because I feel much better now.
Okay, how long have you been vegan?
So I was vegetarian for 6 years and vegan 2 years and a half, so like almost 9 years in total.
Okay. So when you told me offline
Yeah.
that you really love meat.
Yeah, I used to love meat. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this love for the animals or the care of the environment didn't come just when you were young. Like you were not in love with the animals before and you
I
suddenly
was.
fell in love with them?
I was, but the thing is, like in France, we have this culture of like we're a bit big meat eaters, and you don't really question it. Like you just eat what your parents give you. You're not like at 5 years old. You're not gonna be like, oh, what is this steak? So I didn't really question it. For me, it was normal. You have a cat and you eat a steak, no problems. But then growing up, I started to research and to read about it and to question things, agriculture and stuff. And the more I learned, the more I was like, oh, there's something wrong here. And I stopped.
Did you feel any health decline and that's why you went there? Was it something related to health or health was an issue when you had meat in your diet?
Meat, not specifically. It was really like for the love of animals. When I stopped, it was really like, I don't want to be part of this thing anymore. I don't want to have like blood on my hand, if you want to say it like this. So I stopped. Veganism, stopping dairy, yes, big time. Because my digestion, I've always had like a complicated digestion. Let's not dive into details, but complicated digestion, skin issues and stuff like this. And when I stopped, it improved drastically. So for me, and it was like the transition to go from omnivore to vegetarian was super easy. In one day, done. Vegan, it took me a while. It took me a few months to transition from vegetarian to vegan, especially when I was going back home. In France, we have a lot of cheese and everything. And my friends, they were okay with me being vegetarian, but they didn't really understand why vegan. Like, why would you go vegan? Like, it's just milk or it's just cheese. So they will always be like, yeah, just have a piece of burrata, a bit of conte and stuff like this. And at first I was like, just being polite. I was like, yeah, sure. But then I was feeling so sick. And I was like, here, it doesn't make sense. Here, it doesn't make sense. I stopped.
You stopped.
Yeah.
How long have you been working out?
15 years, I would
15
say.
years.
But consistency is an issue with me. But like overall, yeah, 15 years.
Have you noticed any changes in terms of building muscle or in terms of energy? Energy, I think you're very well on the side of it.
I don't even need coffee.
But yeah, tell me about your...
Yeah, so actually for me, so I told you, consistency has always been a thing for me. But I've always, because for me, I really like muscles. For me, like a woman body with muscles, with like shapes and everything is amazing. And I've always wanted to build muscles. And the only time I actually managed to do it was when I was on the strictest vegan diet.
Okay.
I had like a...
When you say strictest, what do you mean? Like
Cleanest.
vegan for already?
Very
cleanest?
clean, very, very clean.
Is there any other option in vegan apart from clean?
Of course.
Like
All the processed food and like you can have burgers, fries, pizza every day being vegan.
how?
Have you heard of like Beyond Meat and Switch and Moving
Okay.
Mountains, all those brands that make like mock meat?
Okay.
You have vegan cheese.
So you're talking about home cooked vegan meal,
Like you can do it at
meals.
home, you can
Yes.
like order, but like yeah, you can be vegan and have the poorest diet ever.
Okay.
Being vegan doesn't mean being healthy, yeah? It's like when you're vegan for the animals, you don't necessarily want to be healthy. You don't really... Some people, they just don't care, like some people go to McDonald's every day and some people eat burgers like even as like vegans. So yeah, you can have a very clean diet or you can have like a dirty vegan diet.
Okay. So workout, back to workout.
Yep.
How was your muscle building workout? Did you notice any differences in terms of energy, muscle development, soreness, recovery?
So as I told you, when I had like this vegan very clean diet, it's the only time where I saw like a massive improvement in a very short period of time. I was training and I was eating super clean, and in like 1 or 2 months I could already feel that I was getting leaner and stronger. Other than that, yeah, like recovery is pretty much like, I think it depends mainly on what you eat. When I was not vegan or vegetarian, I didn't really pay attention to what I was eating. I was eating like meat, pasta, chicken, fries. Like I didn't really pay attention to my diet. So I think the switch that I made became healthier overall. So I'm feeling better now, 100%.
Okay, so you were not on a clean diet before being a vegetarian. So the choice of being a vegetarian was to clean up your diet, but
Not
you
at
were
first.
Okay.
Not at first. At first, I was like, as I told you, at first I was having like still pizza and stuff like this, and I was just having like, I didn't really pay attention to my macros, but then my job, of course, because I was not a dietitian 10 years ago. I changed my career recently, like 5 years ago. So the more knowledge you have, the more attention you pay to what you do. And that's how I improved my health and my diet overall. But when I became vegetarian like 9 years ago, what mattered for me was just to avoid animal product. So I was having everything. I was having like cheese at that time. I was still having like a lot of pasta with cheese, with everything.
In your career as a dietitian, you advise clients, and you have many clients. Would you advise them to be vegetarian or vegan?
I don't force anyone. I believe we're all free to make our own decisions. But I'm like, when it comes to nutrition, variety is key. So if you're on a carnivore diet, for instance, I will always advise you to have a more balanced nutrition. But I'm not like at war with other people. Like if you want to keep eating meat, I'm gonna advise you how to do it so it doesn't harm you.
Okay, let's start here. You opened up a very nice subject.
Let's go.
Today is what? Today is 24.
Yep.
I've been carnivore 24 days already.
Okay.
So what advice would you give me as a dietitian?
To have a more balanced diet, to have the 3 macronutrients. Like we're created in a way that we need those 3 macros. Why would you cut macros out of your diet? For me, it doesn't make sense. It's better to
Macros,
provide
when you
everything.
say macros, you're talking about the carbs?
Carbs, fat, and
I'm
protein.
having
Yeah.
fat.
But then it depends on the quality of the fat you're having. It depends of, like, a calorie is not a calorie.
Ask me questions as a dietitian. I'm your client today.
Okay, tell me what
Okay.
you're having. Like what you had yesterday, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Breakfast, I had 6 eggs and bacon, cooked with butter. Very delicious. Smells. Now, trust me, the eggs cooked with butter, I used to avoid butter and use olive oil, or sometimes the spray of
Yeah.
avocado or something. But eggs with butter taste different.
Yeah, for sure.
And the smell, unbelievable. So that was something. And by the way, I've always been doing the intermittent fasting.
Okay.
When I started the carnivore diet, it helped me continue on the intermittent fasting.
Why intermittent fasting?
I believe it's not a diet, it's a way of eating. So I skip my breakfast or delay my breakfast, let's call, because I love the breakfast, the eggs.
Yeah.
So I start off with eggs, and I just start like as late as I can. I don't need to think about food. So I'm very fine with coffee at the moment and water. And then I start my breakfast. After, whenever I'm hungry, I start with the second meal and maybe end up with a third meal, which is dinner, closer to 8. And that's it. I don't feel hungry and I don't crave eating anymore. So I'm very much fine in terms of cravings. And you're talking about the macros. So your question is why I don't have carbohydrates, or
Like-
why do I need carbohydrates? Let's start from here.
Energy level, first of all. Carbs are the first source of energy for the body.
Absolutely agree with you. But
Yeah.
I didn't notice any drop in energy.
We're talking about 24 days.
Yeah.
I'm not talking like the body is
My
not
body
changing
has
in-
definitely depleted from carbohydrates. I don't think there's any.
The other thing is we have cells that are carbs dependent, such as brain cells and red cells. So red cells, do you know the purpose of the red cells?
Yeah.
Like they have
Deliver
oxygen
the
and they
oxygen,
deliver
yes.
oxygen all over the body.
Yes.
So when you starve your red cells, you actually starve your whole body of oxygen. You deprive your body of oxygen for all the organs. Same with the brain cells. Your brain functions with carbs. This is the main source of energy. That's the preferred source of energy. For instance, when I was working in a hospital, the only reason we were doing like keto diet and like low carbs diet were for people with neurological diseases.
Okay.
You know, like just to weaken the brain and to control the crisis.
Okay. I believe that the brain can function with both, right?
You have like red cells are 100% carbs dependent, and so we call it carbs dependent strict. And brain cells, it's the main source of energy. It can adapt to the other substrates, but the main source and the preferred source is carbs.
Carbs. Yeah.
So if you have the three, the brain will always go for the carbs, and
So-
mainly for the carbs.
What about protein can convert into carb if the body needs it?
Yes, but the thing is like, again, we have those three macronutrients. We have metabolic way to process all of them. Why would you force your body to go into like ketosis and like to force your body to do extra work when we actually can have everything that we need the easiest way possible by having the three macros?
Let me tell you, like before I decided to go on a carnivore diet, because I like to experiment things on my body. Like I told you, I'm kind of a guinea pig when it comes to experimenting science. I don't like to talk about something unless I tried it on
Of course,
myself.
makes sense.
So I can't say anything about vegan or vegetarian because I never tried it. That's why you're here to tell me more about it. But I don't think I will change.
Let's see. We're going to discuss.
But carnivore diet was more close to me as the paleo diet. I would say
Yeah.
I was more on a paleo side of a diet.
Before being carnivore?
Yes.
Okay.
My carbs were very minimum. I haven't had sugar for at least 10 years.
Sugar and carbs is different, huh?
I mean sugar sweets.
Yeah,
desserts.
I think we can meet on the sugar part, but
Yes.
for me, carbs we need
Yeah.
we need the carbs.
Sugar at all. For a very long time, I used to be a sugar addict to the level that I don't drink water. I have fuzzy drinks, carbonated drinks
Okay.
for just to open up my day and start off with that.
Okay.
Digestive chocolate biscuits were my breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my diet.
And what made you change from this to carnivore? Why not just go like in between and have like a classic omnivore diet?
As I said, like I wanted to experiment. I've listened and heard a lot about the carnivore diet.
Why?
But to be honest with you, I was very close to it because I do skip sometimes carbs during the day. I would say a carb cycling diet would be very much good enough for me. I wouldn't say I'm against carbs, but I am very less of a eater of a carb.
By taste? Like, is it a choice, like, because of your taste, or
I
why?
don't feel comfortable eating carbs.
Why?
It makes me bloated. I'm afraid, I used to be afraid that I might bounce back to be fat again because I was having a transition where I became very fat.
Okay.
So the fear of that as well is there,
Okay.
and the subconscious maybe.
Yeah, of course.
But I wanted to try the carnivore and I did. The moment I decided to, I'm doing it for a show, by the way, which is with Discovery Channel. By the time this video will be edited, I think the recording will be already done. So they chose me to be the carnivore person. So I told them, okay, I will be on a carnivore. And I've already wanted before to be on
Okay.
that. The health benefits after 24 days.
Tell me.
I've never felt so much lighter.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Extremely lighter. Stomach,
Yeah.
bowel movement, everything extremely light. This used to be a problem for me before that. This is the number one. Number two, I don't crave eating a lot.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, the meals that I have, the proportions, like the macros that I used to have in my bag or on my plate, the protein, the amount of protein is still the same. I
Which
just
is?
removed whatever it is,
Okay.
50 grams of protein or pure protein, whatever the amount. That's the split. Okay, I don't track my calories. I stopped for a very long time.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't do it either. With my
So
clients.
the amount of protein that I have here, there was carbs and there was salad. I removed the carbs and salad and I just left with the same amount of protein. Okay, so the same amount. Let's start with eggs. I have 6 eggs in the morning. Okay, used to go above, never felt the need of it. 6 was enough for me,
Okay.
but I don't go less. With the full yolk, I don't
Yeah,
remove
yeah.
it.
Of course.
6 full eggs.
Yeah.
I used to have with it bread and a piece of an avocado or oats on the side,
Yeah.
for example. I removed all of this and I'm just eating the eggs. I realized that I cannot really finish eating the eggs that easy. Or the chicken, for example, at lunch. I don't, it's the same amount, but with the carbs, I would finish it easily. This is something that I've realized. So it's not easy to finish the meal. And
But
when you're
what would be the issue by finishing your plate?
chewing the protein by itself, it's not a easy thing.
Yeah, but if you have carbs, like, what is the problem by finishing your plate?
I
Why
I
would
will
it be
finish
an
it
issue?
within a second. Easy,
Then
same
that's
amount.
something different. That's something different. That's something I work with my client usually.
Yeah.
The time, like the duration of your meals will, because you were saying that you had like digestive issues and
Yeah.
stuff like this. If you eat in 5 minutes, 100% you're gonna feel bloated and you're gonna have digestive issues. If you eat in 20 minutes, the same meal, so keep your bread, keep your avocado.
So you're talking about time now,
Yes.
not the carbs.
Yeah, because you're saying that when you're eating only protein, it takes forever to eat.
Yeah.
When you're having protein plus carbs, fat, and everything, the same portion, it takes you 5 minutes to eat it. So just have the same plate with everything, but eat it in the same duration of when you're
But
having.
carbs are tasty.
That's a personal like.
No,
I
I'm
don't like
telling you.
carbs.
I'm telling you, carbs are very tasty, and that's the thing that makes you eat a lot.
No.
For me,
Yeah, for you.
Yes.
Like each person
I-
is different.
yeah, yeah.
We cannot
can
make a rule
easy-
out of personal beliefs.
Maybe time. Even without time, I can go extended longer period of eating, but I will finish the plate. But I struggle chewing just the protein, and this is like when you're chewing a lot. I think this is also one of the advices that dietitian give. Try to chew a lot,
As much as you can. So the
you
enzyme
can,
can start acting in the mouth.
and then once you're done, like within the 20 minutes of eating, whatever amount you have eaten in the 20 minutes, you cannot eat more than that after.
Yeah, basically that's something I work with when I always start with my clients. I ask how long do you need to finish your plate, and because of work, because of many things, people tend to eat in 5-10 minutes. So that's the first thing to fix when you want to improve your digestion, when you want to improve your diet, when you want to improve your portions. Work on the duration of your meals.
Yeah.
Because if you eat in 20 minutes, the brain can understand that you actually had a meal. If you're eating super fast, yeah, your stomach will feel, okay, I have a lot of food, but then it's going to come too fast, so it's going to be hell of a problem for the stomach and the intestine to process everything. When you have it in 20 minutes, first of all, it comes step by step in your stomach, so it's less aggressive for the stomach and the intestine to digest it. And at the same time, you have some hormones secretions that make your brain understand that, okay, we had a meal, we don't need food anymore.
Yeah.
We're good.
But what are the important macros that you have to start with if a person cannot finish a meal?
So then it's going to be a nutrition consultation where it's going to be a different topic. But then, like,
Okay,
it depends on your goal. It depends on your goal. If you want to lose weight, the plate will be different. But overall, I always advise people to have a good variety in your plate. So I will always recommend you to have some vegetables, carbs, and protein in your plate, and healthy fats on top.
When you say healthy fat, what are the healthy fats?
So it's mainly unsaturated fat. I know you love your saturated fat. We can discuss this a little. But it's going to be like nuts, avocado, seeds, olive oil, that kind of things.
Okay. Now let's go back to you
Yes.
and the vegan diet. The essential fatty acids and the essential amino acids.
Yeah.
How do you get the full mixture in a plate?
Pretty easy. So if you look at history and the different cultures, when you look at, for instance, Indians, they always combine lentils with bread, for instance. In like Mexico or that kind of countries like South America, they usually have corn with beans and that kind of stuff. When you look at the chemical formulas of these ingredients, they all have combined together, they all have the 9 amino acids, the 9 essential amino acids to make your protein.
Okay.
So you just need to have a little bit, like, I fully agree, to be a good vegan, like to have like a healthy vegan diet, you need to have a little bit of knowledge, 100%. But same thing with any diet anyway. But you can just combine different food together to get your amino acids, to get your protein. And the body regulates itself over 24 hours. So you can have it for lunch, other amino acids for dinner, and at the end of the day, you're going to be fine.
What are the negative parts of the vegan diet that you have faced? Let's be honest.
Judgment. It's tiring. It's tiring to have people every day commenting your diet. Like, you know, like imagine for 24 days, you have like 3 to 4 times a day someone coming like, oh, what are you eating? Why are you having this? Oh, do you want me to do like, you know, do you want me to pour like a plate of rice like in front of you? Like, it's so annoying to have people always commenting your choices and always judging you. This is the hardest part for me because health-wise, I feel good. Ethical-wise, I feel good. And I strongly believe that vegan is a way more ethical choice than eating carnivore or omnivore, but mainly carnivore diet. Because I feel like being vegan is not just about your choices. It's way bigger than this. It's way bigger than just your food choices. It's a whole lifestyle. For me, it goes way further than just what I put in my mouth. It's a full lifestyle. Like my shoes are vegan. Like I don't ride. So, you know, like it's not about just what I eat. And for me, we live in a world we're so selfish. We just think about our own little comfort when we cannot do this anymore. Like we have all the informations, all the statistics, all the data to say that the world is collapsing.
But
so we need to act. And a good way to act is with your plate.
But don't you think that this is the circle of life and this is the purpose of life? Like everything is supposed to be meant to be in this way. Like the sharks in the ocean, they eat the fish, which you feel sorry about. And then even the plants that you're eating are dependent on the insects that feed on them. So
sharks are carnivores. We're not, first of all. So like
but
if you
we
talk
are
about
omnivores.
We are omnivores, which means
Yeah.
we can live on both.
On both, yes.
So I made the decision. My decision is to avoid harming living sentient. For me, if I can survive, if I can live healthy, happy, by not harming anyone, why would I choose to harm anyone? You know?
The vegetables are also living organisms.
They don't have a nervous system. They don't feel pain. They don't feel fear. They don't feel anxiety. They don't
They
feel
do.
love.
They have the protective mechanism from the chemicals that they produce in order to poison the surrounding.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So
But they
they
don't
have
feel
the-
no, but they don't feel pain. It's like there's a difference between having a nervous system and having emotions, and trying to protect your species and like as a plant or whatever, just making sure that your species survives. It's like nature. Here we're talking about like a cow can feel fear. A chicken can feel pain.
Who said? They were
Science.
no. They were created to be eaten.
No, this we will. This is where we're gonna disagree. This is where we're gonna disagree. Like, who says who?
They don't have souls.
Says who?
They are living, but do they have souls? Do they have feelings?
How
do
do you
they
know?
say?
How do you know?
No, I'm asking.
No, I'm asking you as well. How do you know they don't have a soul? They don't have feelings?
It's a question. Probably, we need to discuss this.
If you look at, for instance, the dairy farms, so you know, like the cow is being like.
Slaughtered, yeah.
No. For the dairy, it's like just.
Milked.
No, like to have a baby. I don't know the word in English. They're artificially inseminated.
Okay.
Yeah. they have their baby. The baby is born. They can produce milk. The baby is taken away from them. Have you seen how much they cry when the baby is taken away? How can you say that they're not how can you say they don't have feelings when you can have like footage saying that they're actually screaming when the baby is taken away from them? You have the same thing with orcas. Orcas, when like because the babies are usually taken away to go in like aqua world and all this stuff, they have created ways to actually make sure that the babies stay away from the fishermen, not fishermen, but like to capture them. And they have created like subterfuge to make sure that the baby can stay safe and everything. And yet, when humans manage to get the babies, you have footage showing that they're screaming for hours. How can you say
this
they
I
don't
agree.
have feelings?
No, this I agree with you that human beings, once they interfere in nature, they spoil everything, and that's why we reach to this level here to argue about our diets. But to be honest with you, let's go back to ancestors, okay, where human was not that much evolved to do what he's doing today in terms of factories of chickens or factories of milk production and cows and how they torture the animals.
Yeah.
Yes, but we're living in a farm.
Okay.
We have a cow, we have a few chickens here to lay eggs, and we have our own land to grow whatever we want to grow. Would you still eat?
No. And it's the same with the lab farm, lab-grown meat and stuff like this. I'm feeling fine. Why would I need to, even in a farm, why would I need to eat an animal when I'm feeling 100% fine? And I don't want to kill them. Even if why would I do it? For me, it's way more, as I said, it's way more than what I put in my mouth. I'd rather have an animal alive than dead with me. It will bring me way more joy to live with a living animal than having 10-minute steak. On the long run, I feel way better when I'm with animals than when I put a steak in my mouth.
What if your health, after many years, required animal protein?
I think I would still be vegan. If now you tell me, okay, you have an iron deficiency or whatever, I think I would still be vegan. Because, as I said, for me, there is a sense of sacrifice. We live in a world that what we're doing is not sustainable. So that's something that I want to ask you as well. Now we know that farming is not sustainable. We need to make choices. And we can talk about politics and, the government should be preventing this and blah, blah, blah. But still, consumers, we have power. And the power is what you put in your plate. So for me, I choose to fight by being vegan. So you, for instance, what's your opinion on that? We know that the planet is in quite bad condition at the moment. We know that agriculture and farming has a massive impact. How does that make you feel?
I believe that the circulation of life from the animals to the plants and their requirements, which nature has been known for ages, and this is how it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And
so this is how it's supposed to be, to have thousands of animals in a farm, without seeing daylight, being fed with floor and stuff like this?
I told you, this way of agriculture or this way of raising the animals or keeping them in this way, I would not be with it. But
that's what you eat.
That's what I'm meant to eat.
Not
that's what my body needs to eat.
To hunt, if you're talking about sharks, about lion, do you think you can hunt the same way as they do? And can you kill a cow?
Me?
Yeah.
Would I sound awful to you if I say I did?
With your hands?
Yes.
How? How would you do that? With your teeth? You think you can kill a cow?
No, but not a cow.
Then you eat beef every day.
A lamb. A chicken.
But still, you eat beef every day.
Am I a villain in front of you right now?
Yes, you are. No, but that's something I want to understand as well. Do you you don't like animals at all?
Of course, I feel animals, but I like animals on the plate.
More than you like them alive?
Because they are alive for me to be enjoying life, and that's their purpose, and that's how we live. I cannot change what life gave me.
You can make choices.
I
Like
feel
that's
sorry.
the whole difference. That's what we say
I
is
feel
the difference
sorry
between
for-
animals and humans.
I
We're
feel
supposed
sorry
to be
for the plants,
smarter.
to be honest. The same way, more than the animals.
Why?
Because they're beautiful and they're not supposed to be
Oh,
cut
and
off.
animals are ugly, so we can eat them.
They are there for farming. They are there for providing nutrients for me.
Same as plants.
It's a win-win.
Plants provide me all the nutrients that I need.
You think so?
Yeah. Where do you get your antioxidant? Where do you get like your vitamins from? With a carnivore
from
diet.
the animal,
How?
from the animal products.
How?
Yes, from the bee.
Yeah. How? I'm
Yeah,
asking
from
you
the
how.
beef or from the eggs from the beef steak. Let's call the steak. So this
So you
is
have
something.
your vitamin C in your steak.
Yes.
Oh wow.
The amount of vitamin C which is in the steak, it is extremely less than what it is outside. Yes. But who said that we need this much vitamin C in our body?
So how much vitamin C do we have in a steak?
Very minimum, 10% of what is there outside.
Less.
But this is what your body needs away from carbs, because carbs and vitamin C fight for the receptor of the cell. So that's why you feel like you're deficient in terms of vitamin C. This is a study that I just read. I'm not making this up, which was surprising for me because this was the first question for myself, exactly like the way that you did, because I didn't know in the past that you didn't need that much vitamin C. Right now, I'm not supplementing on anything at all. In the past, I used to supplement a little bit here and there, but now I don't feel the need to. Energy-wise, I told you, like, which was the main fear that I'm going to be away from carbohydrates for a long time. How is my performance in the gym? And you know, I do lift heavy weights, so this is kind of like how, where, from where, and again, I am a carnivore person right now in front of you, 24 days. Would I live to the extreme of being a carnivore without the... Okay, ask me questions, for example. What do you miss in terms of food?
No, but that's the thing. You've been carnivore for 24 days. I've been vegan for vegan and vegetarian for 9 years. You cannot make a conclusion out of 24 days. Of course, your body, maybe you're going to feel amazing for 24 days. Let's stay. First of all, could you be vegan? Could you be carnivore your whole life? Could you eat like this?
I think
your
I
whole
can.
life?
I think I can. That's the thing. And it's not just the 24 days that I've been on a carnivore diet. I have been 3 months, 2 years ago, on a carnivore diet.
It is nothing. 3 months, 24 days, it's nothing.
But I was not understanding the benefits. And I was doing it not because it was a carnivore diet. It was similar to a carnivore diet for a purpose of a show. But now, no, I'm more into the science behind carnivore.
Yeah.
I'm more into what I feel, and I'm recording and documenting all the journey of what I'm going through, energy-wise, health-wise. I will tell you something that happened to me which scared me while I was on a carnivore. First week of zero carbs.
Yeah.
And
000?
000.
Okay.
24 days, zero carbs.
Okay.
Yeah, in this carnivore.
Okay.
First week, I was standing with a client evening time, and I felt dizzy to the level that I had to hold on a machine, and I almost fell, literally faint. And I was like, this episode is dangerous. Immediately in my head, and the people around me who knows I'm on a carnivore, you need carb. You thought the same. I had doubts. I wouldn't say I know exactly what happened. No, I had doubts that, yes, maybe it is lack of carbs. Wow, maybe carnivore is a bad thing. But it turned out to be that I needed to change my reading glasses. So it was something related to the eyes. And the next day I went and checked my eyes. Yes, I had to change my reading glasses to a little bit of a different degree. So it was more related to the eyes rather than the diet itself. So
How do you know it was more related to the eyes than...
I changed my reading glasses and I'm okay.
Yeah, but
This
like...
was-
so
this was
dizziness
one
is a usual symptoms when you switch diets. So it can just... It happened and maybe it's just like... It happened at the same time that you needed to change your glasses, but maybe it's just like... It actually is a symptom of you changing your diet.
Maybe, but and it didn't happen again.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it happens, and then your body
It could
adapts.
be,
That's the
yes.
beautiful thing about human body. We
Yeah.
have this ability to adapt that is incredible. Like for instance, with iron, I often hear like, oh, you're on a vegan diet. Do you have like iron deficiency? Like you have like non-heme iron when the iron you get from the animals are heme iron and stuff like this. When you look at how we metabolize, iron. We have, like the body has the ability to change the way we metabolize iron to get the same benefits from non-heme to heme iron. So it's the same thing, the body can adapt. And for instance, vitamin C, you were talking about vitamin C, it improves the absorption of iron. When you have a vegan diet, your diet is usually higher in vitamin C than on a carnivore diet. So at the end of the day, the body can adapt.
The body can adapt, definitely, because we go through survival modes and you can adapt. There's a huge debate between vegan and carnivore, and we
Here
can
we
say
are.
we can say that I'm saying this out loud for people who are listening to our podcast now. We are the two extreme.
Yes, we are, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't advise people to go on a carnivore, and I don't know if you would advise people to go on a vegan diet.
I would
Come on,
advise
stay
them.
with me on the same page.
But I would advise them if they know how to do it, and that's what I do as a dietitian. I help people to. It's part of. I have different things. I help people with weight loss, with muscle gain, but I also help people transitioning. Because I fully agree with you. If you don't do it the right way,
Yeah.
as any diet, it can be harmful.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course.
But what kind of harm could a carnivore person get?
So if you look at the stats, when it comes to cardiovascular disease, for instance, people on a balanced vegan diet or plant-based diet have 25% less risk of getting or dying from a cardiovascular disease. Have you heard of the blue zones?
Yes.
So, for the people, maybe some of them don't know what it is. These are 5 zones in the world where you have a high concentration of centenarians. If you look at those, there's patterns that you can find in all of these 5 areas. So there's a social aspect. They're all very social. They connect and everything. They don't train like crazy at the gym like we do. They usually walk a lot. They garden. They do everything themselves. They don't have like machines to cook or whatever. They do everything themselves and they stay active all day. And they're on a plant-based diet, all of them. So how do you explain that carnivore diet has a higher risk of cardiovascular disease and so premature death when on those 5 blue zones where you have the highest concentrations of 100 plus people, they're on a plant-based diet? How can you explain that?
Again, human beings' body are capable of adapting in any kind of situation. Okay.
They're not adapting. This is the lifestyle. This is their lifestyle.
Yes.
For centuries.
The lack of animals around them made them adapt.
No, they have. Like if you look, one of them is Okinawa. Okinawa, it's an island. They have
Yes.
plenty of fish, and yet less than 5% of their protein.
Are you talking about the documentary which is on Netflix?
I saw it, but I knew it about like way before.
Yeah.
That's my job to learn about this stuff, so I don't wait for Netflix to educate me.
I have to say this out loud. I don't trust Netflix.
No, but it's not Netflix.
Yeah,
It's
because I
science.
saw this Okinawa.
Yeah.
I saw the way that this guy was talking about it. There is truth, 100%. Otherwise, it would not be a successful documentary.
No. You can have
yeah,
successful
but-
documentary with crap. Huh?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not about that.
So, but again, the truth is way beyond what we see on TV, and we all agree that.
But there's tens and there's a lot of studies about those blue zones.
On the same-
It's like it was not created for the Netflix show. Huh? Those
Yeah.
blue zones have been studied for the last 25,
There are
30 years.
many tribes in Africa that only hunt animal products, and they feast only animal and fat, like protein and fat. That's their diet only. They have
How
shown the
old do they
study.
live?
extremely old. Look
No.
at their faces.
They're not like, it's not a blue zone, for instance. They're like the concentration
have-
of centenarians
Yeah.
is not as high as.
It's the same.
areas
No, no,
that
no.
are-
I'll show you the document, proven and science.
No, I read about it
research.
because I know you would ask some stuff like this, so I read about it as well.
Their teeth. They showed how their teeth development. They don't see dentists at all. Okay, cavity and everything, and it's been done by a dentist actually.
This I fully agree, but here we're talking about the impact of processed food. We're not talking about the impact of vegetables, fruits, or
Yeah.
carbs. We're talking
Yeah.
about processed food, so it's completely
We
different.
we agree on this podcast
food
here
is
today.
like-
Processed food,
Whether
sugar.
you're carnivore, vegan, or anything, processed food, it's an issue,
Yeah.
for sure.
And again, once again, I repeat that we are the both extreme of the diet. So you're standing on one side of the extreme diet, which is the vegan, and I'm standing on the other side as well. Anything in between, but we both agree, the both extremists agree that processed food is harmful for the body.
100%. 100%.
What about sugar?
When it comes to processed food, yes.
Yes.
Like refined sugar is harmful.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I always, like, for instance, I always advise people to go like for unprocessed carbs. Like if you have to choose between white rice, brown rice, wild rice, and black rice, go for the black, go for the wild rice. Because you will have way more fibers, way more nutrients, and it's less processed. What is left in the white grain of your rice is mainly sugar, and you remove basically all the good stuff about it. So 100%. The more processed, the worse it gets. So I always go for the unprocessed food.
Okay. How do you get your full amino acids?
I told you, complementation. Like I have,
Mixings.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mix like different ingredients. Like in those blue zones, for instance, in Costa Rica, there's one, and it made me laugh because I was thinking of you when I read the documentary, because they were like, we focus a lot on protein and stuff like this, and I was like, oh, maybe this one will be the one that has a higher, because I didn't heard about Costa Rica before. I heard about Okinawa and
Yes.
those different places, but for some reason I didn't read about Costa Rica before, and I was like, oh, maybe this is the only one that is not vegan. And actually they were like, yeah, we focus a lot on protein, and the basic of their nutrition is corn, butternut, and beans. And with all these three ingredients, you have your amino acids. So you can have everything with a plant-based diet. That's I feel like that's the major difference between a carnivore diet and a vegan diet. With a vegan diet, you can still have everything. When on a carnivore diet, you're saying it yourself, you're avoiding carbs, you're trying to get zero carbs and everything. I feel in that way, a vegan diet is way more balanced than a carnivore diet. What's your opinion on that?
No, I don't agree with that.
Why?
Again, you know that the essential macros are protein. We need the 9 essential amino acids, and we need the essential fatty acids. So fat and protein is essential.
Yeah.
Is carb essential?
Alors, why? Alors, sorry, I'm speaking French. So why do we call it essential?
Because your body cannot produce it, so you need to consume it from outside.
Exactly.
Yes.
The carbs are that important that we are able
To make
work
it.
on it. Yeah. So we still need carbs.
I do agree, but
100%.
I do agree, but your body can live without carbs.
No.
Consuming carbs from outside.
You need to have carbs. Even on a keto diet, you still have a very low percentage, but you still have carbs.
We're not talking keto. We're talking carnivore here. This is,
And that's why I'm saying, on the long run, you cannot.
Yeah, people
live
when they
on a
see me
carnivore
eating, this is the thing which I've noticed, and I need to correct people.
You're in a keto diet.
Yes.
But it's a trend.
It's
a
not.
trend.
Yes. What I am on is not a keto diet.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between keto and there's a
100%,
difference
yeah.
between carnivore.
Yep.
Keto allows carbohydrate in a very small amount, and their protein is very much less than what a carnivore
Yeah.
person is eating. In a carnivore diet, there's 0 carbohydrates. It's just a balance of almost 1-to-1 in terms of grams, fat and protein. And that's it, the 0 carbs. So we do use, or I say we, yes, I am, we do use the ketones as energy.
Yeah.
Okay. But I have a feeling that my body switches on and off between glucose and ketones.
How do you have this feeling?
I have done a test where I was on a ketosis, and one day I was not. And a funny fact is that, you know, the glucose monitor I have here, I've realized that it's so funny and so interesting. I had it for 2 weeks during this carnivore, and I realized that my glucose drops every time I eat a protein fat meal, which is what we eat. It drops. And there are moments where it spikes, but it spikes within the normal range. How do you explain that glucose spike?
After eating your meal?
Yes.
So you're saying that when you're having your carnivore meal, you check your glucose before eating?
I check it before.
Yeah.
My glucose level are pretty normal.
Okay.
Okay. There's no drop or... After the meal, in 1 hour, it decreases again within the normal, but it decreases from the normal.
Yeah.
Like I'm fasting now. If
Which
I
is
had,
normal. When
if-
we have food, we have insulin secretion, which make your glucose go into your
and
cells.
it makes sense because I don't have any carbs, so the body
course it's gonna drop
It's
even.
gonna drop. But again, there's a little bit of a spike above the normal after 2 hours.
Yeah, because basically when you eat, you receive your nutrients. So you receive your nutrients in your stomach, it's processed, blah, 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 blah. It comes into super small molecules, it goes to your blood. When you have all these molecules in your blood, you have receptors that come on top of your cells and this is with the insulin, it allows your cells to absorb the glucose. Then it's finished, so it's going up again. That's completely normal. Like when you eat, that's why I always tell people, for instance, to have fibers, which you don't have in a carnivore diet and stuff like this.
Because we don't need it. Yeah.
Why? You don't need.
Do you want to open up a subject which will take 1 hour?
Okay, let's go. Why you don't need fibers? Interesting.
Why do we need fibers?
So, weight monitoring, now you see, I started to speak French in my weight control. Let's say weight control to manage your weight, to avoid like the fatty cells, the fatty acids. It controls the fatty acids as well. Because basically, when you eat fibers, fibers are like a sponge. You know, like when you have a dried sponge, it's like super small. You put water on it, it becomes big like this. So for people who eat super fast, for instance, or who need a massive amount of food, when you eat your fibers, and you have like a balanced plate with vegetables, protein, and carbs. You eat it, it goes into your stomach, you're drinking water, it becomes bigger in your stomach. So you feel full faster and for a longer period of time. Because digesting, when you have fibers, it becomes like a big
ball.
sponge.
Yeah.
So to actually go into your intestine and be absorbed and everything, it takes longer. So it's a very good tool to actually control your food intakes.
Okay, if I'm controlling my amount of nutrients that I'm eating, or
Yes.
what is important for my body, why do I need fiber in my diet? Fiber blocks the body from absorbing nutrients.
Yes.
Needed nutrients or unneeded nutrients.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why they are there in fruits.
That's why we would have, like, if we were having, again, variety and balance. If
Yes.
we had too much fibers, it would be an issue.
Yes.
But having no fibers, especially on a carnivore diet that is super high in saturated fat,
We don't need fat. We don't need fiber. And this was something that made me realize, because I used to advise my clients to go on fiber, like have fiber in your meal. And the myth of fiber, that we need fiber and barn in our diet, is made by an advertisement in the 80s from Kellogg's, I think. So
which is like low fibers anyway. So
no, they were promoting like
processed.
high fiber. You need fiber. It's important for your digestion. Our bodies are made to eat fiber. Actually, not.
And what about your gut? Because fibers are carbohydrates component, that we don't have the enzymes to digest the fibers, but it's carbohydrates. So fibers, when you eat them, you don't have calories.
They have zero nutrients in the fibers. So
let me finish.
yes.
You eat your... Come on.
Go.
So you're eating your fibers. You don't get any calories out of it because we don't have the enzymes required to digest it. So it goes all the way to your colon.
Yes.
And in your colon, it fermentates,
Yes.
which contributes to your gut health.
Which produces fatty acids.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But it, like, for your health, you know the benefits of the, like, now there's more
The
and more
gut.
studies regarding the gut,
The
connection
gut.
with the gut and the health, the connection between the gut and your weight, the connection between
Correct.
gut and health, mental health. So when you deprive your body from eating fibers, you're actually creating more imbalance between in your gut, and especially when you're on a carnivore diet, because unfortunately, as we said, we live in a world where the meat you're eating is coming from farm, like massive farms. So they're full of antibiotics, which contributes to unbalanced gut. So they're fed with poor nutrients. So all of this contributes with, like, all the chemicals and stuff. It all contributes to messing with your gut. So when you don't even have fibers on top of that, how can you fight and how can you have, like, a good gut, good microbiome?
Fiber as I said, fiber blocks the body from absorbing certain
Yeah.
nutrients
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even healthy nutrients in our body. So this is something which we have to both agree that this is not beneficial when it comes into the small intestine. But when it goes to the large intestine, as you said, which is a very short, it's very short compared to the small intestine. Small intestine is way much longer than the large intestine. The benefits that you talk about, which is the microbiomes which are in the gut, that helps the body transform the fiber into fatty acids or ketones that the body may need during this process. Now, this is science-based. I'm not saying it from my side. So again, I was prepared as you were prepared to come and attack you, because this was probably the first question that I might have been expecting from you. If the fiber is essential because of its importance to transform into fatty acids, and then into ketones, which the body needs. We are already on a keto.
But you're talking about something else.
Again, I'll come back to your point. So we are already on a keto kind of diet. Okay, so our gut or our large intestine is very small for a purpose if you compare it to any herbivores. Okay, if you look at their large intestine, it is way much bigger than their small intestine for a reason. That's why they eat a lot of fiber, because they're more like on a keto diet, because their body converts the fiber into ketones through fatty acids. And these are studies. That's why you see the argument about a plant-based person when they bring in a gorilla in the picture. How can a gorilla build so much muscle? It's because of his large intestine is developed totally different. It's way much longer and bigger than his small intestine. So that's why he can, or any herbivores can, live on fiber and convert fiber into fatty acids, which converts into keto diet. So that's why the gorilla or any herbivores live on a keto diet mostly, rather than a normal human being.
That's the thing with studies. Basically, like, we can stay here for
This
1
is
week.
biology.
No, but this is like, we can stay here a whole week and I'm going to give you studies, you're going to give me studies. And at the end of the day, we're going to be like, yeah, but my study is true, yours is wrong. And it's never ending. Like, we all know that the study are usually paid and everything. So you can always find a study that will say, okay, I'm saying this and I have a study to prove it. And I'm going to say, I have a study to prove what I'm saying as well, and that the vegan diet is the best.
Okay.
So if we start like this, it's never ending. And the same thing with, like, comparing gorilla or I fully agree, we're not the same.
Yes.
We're not the same. So that's why we're not carnivores, for instance. You don't have the same digestive system as a lion.
We're what? We're
Omnivores.
Yes. So we have the teeth that choose the.
No. With your teeth. Okay, bring a cow. Eat the cow with your little canine.
Okay. This is a never-ending story.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so
why like
the idea is avoid processed food, avoid
yeah. But I really want to
sugar.
have
Yes, tell me.
your opinion on like the planet, the impact on farming on the planet, and you're directly contributing to this system by eating a carnivore diet. So how does that make you feel? Because the meat that you're eating is not a cow that was living happily in her field, like with all all her friends and family, and then she died, and then you're having your steak. No, it was in a farm full of antibiotics, like living conditions are like the poorest ever.
I stopped eating from outside, and even not. I'm eating now from here, from this restaurant, for one reason, because the chef told me that they use grass-fed.
She's very particular about the
so
quality
I
of
do
food.
care about that, and I do care about the quality of food that goes inside my body. But this does not mean that I would advise people to go extremely expensive for that.
That's the thing as well. A carnivore diet is super expensive compared to a plant-based diet.
Is it though? Is it?
Do you want to compare the price of beef
Let's
or
do a
chicken with
shopping.
lentil and soya?
There is one thing that I wanted to end up this podcast with, and I think you know about it. So we can do an experiment about it. So, are you ready? I need to sit down like this.
Okay.
Am I in focus?
I'm gonna go back. Tell me.
Let's do an experiment if you're ready, and if you're in, bring the microphone closer.
Here.
Yes.
So we can hear
So-
how my reaction.
It's going to be very hard for me to say it, but for the sake of the experiment and proving things for people, not for us, okay? Or maybe for us, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to switch diets for 4 weeks?
I have a question before. Why would it be hard for you to switch?
Same way, it's going to be hard for you as well to switch.
No, because there's ethical reason behind it. For
So
me,
it
it's
is
way
hard,
bigger.
Yes.
It's way bigger than just what I put in my mouth.
Because
As I told you, if I had like deficiency, I would still be vegan because I firmly believe that I don't want to kill any animals. I want to help the planet. I want to make sure that my nutrition is as much as possible harm-free.
Okay, I'll tell you why it's hard for me.
Yeah. So tell me
The
why. Because
moment-
for you, it's just what you put in your mouth. You don't care. Like I'm not saying that you don't care about the planet. That's not what I say. No, but you obviously it's not a massive concern for you.
Do you know where I come from?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know the history of Iraq?
Tell me.
You know how many people died in the war and how many people I saw die in front of me? How many kids died? How many parents separated because of the war?
Mm-hmm.
Millions, more than the animals that you care about. Would it be rather better for me to care about the humans rather than the animals at this moment?
And that's something that we can discuss as well. Like if you talk about, for instance, hunger
Yeah.
in the world,
Yeah.
we have enough resources to feed more than 10 billion people on the planet. And yet you have half of the planet dying from hunger, suffering from hunger issues.
Yeah.
So it's not about I always hear about this, why don't you care about humans instead of caring about animals and stuff like this? It's not one
I'm
or
talking
the
about
other.
myself. I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about myself.
But why can't you care about both? Why can't you care
I
about
do.
humans and animals?
Because animals are there for humans.
That's not true. That's your belief, but that's not true.
That is my belief.
Yeah. So then we can just say what makes us feel comfortable, but then the planet. Okay, the planet. The impact of agriculture and farming.
Come back closer.
I'm coming back.
Let's go back to the switching part.
Yeah.
Why is it difficult for me?
Why?
The first thing I think about is how am I going to arrange eating and I need a lot of knowledge and I need a lot of help,
I'm here.
study.
If you need help, I'm happy to help.
To balance my protein intake.
Yeah.
Okay. And where I'm going to find it, shopping for me is going to be totally different. Rather than just going to the meat section, picking up the steak.
That's my job. I'm here to help.
With the butter. That is how easy carnivore is. But for me, when I think about vegan and switching to vegan, I'm not arguing with all what you said about how there are successful people who can manage and balance their proteins easily. But for me, I think it's going to be way much difficult to find the proper proportions, going back into calculating things. And I need to make sure that I have all the essential amino acids, all the essential fatty acids.
That's why it's important to do it with the right help.
Yes.
That's
why I find it very difficult, because this is the difficulty part for me more than anything else, rather than just going and taking that steak with this butter, fatty steak, cooking it, and that's...
Again, you're talking about just your situation.
Yeah.
You're not seeing the bigger picture. When I'm vegan... And that's why it would be complicated for me to do this switch. Like, I'm vegan, it's not about me. It's way bigger than just me. So if I go on a carnivore diet, it means that I have to kill animals. I'm responsible of the death of animals to eat.
You're not responsible, you're eating it.
Yeah, but it's...
You didn't do it.
Okay, so now if I tell you, go kill someone, am I guilty? Am I going to go to jail? Yes. Because I'm the one asking for it. So that's the exact same thing. You're eating, it's offer and demand. You're asking for it, so people have to kill for you in order to eat it. So that's the exact same thing. If I ask you to kill someone and you do it, you're going to jail, I'm going to jail. Same thing.
Do you wish the entire world will be vegan?
Yes. No, yeah, like, of course, because for me, it's about animal and the planet and stuff like this. So for me...
Do you think this is like... with nature, or this is against nature?
It can be 100% with nature. If you want to talk about nature, like now, we're using all the soil for agriculture. We would have way more, and we're suffering from global warming and stuff like this. People are moving from one place to another. If we had 70% of the farming is for animal agriculture, 30% is for the plant agriculture. I don't know how to say it, but plant agriculture. Out of the 30%, you can have 70% of the soy and cereal production that goes to feed the cattle and everything. So if you're talking about the space that is used for it, we would have way more space, we would have way less pollution, so way less global warming. All of this is not sustainable. So why would it be against nature? What is against nature? To put animals every minute, 200,000 animals are killed every day. 200,000 animals every minute. So we're talking for an hour. Can you imagine how many animals have been slaughtered since we're talking? Is it nature?
Yes.
It's not nature.
It is.
How come? Being in a farm, with no daylight.
This is not gonna...
It's never ending.
It's never ending.
Yeah, so just,
Okay,
if I can switch...
Going back. Yes, can you switch?
I cannot.
You cannot?
No, I cannot. I'm sorry.
It
would have been nice.
Thank you for saving my life.
Yeah, exactly. You see, I'm happy, you're happy. It's good.
I was so scared that you will accept to change, and I'll be
no, but again, it's not about me. It's
So you're happy where you are. I'm
100%.
happy where I am. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope we don't hate each other.
I'm fine. I still like you.
Yes.
Do
Thank you? Yes, I do.
Okay, cool.
Despite where you're, what you're eating, how you're eating, enjoying your cheesecake.
And we still agree that we don't like processed food. So we have one thing we agree with.
Yes.
So you say.
How was the cheesecake last time?
Vegan cheesecake.
Vegan.
Cashew.
Vegan. Yeah.
With cashew. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my chocolate.
See, I don't crave sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm very.
And I don't crave meat. Because, for me, meat is just like a dead body.
The more we are going to talk, it's never ending.
Yeah, that's what I told you. We can stay here for the whole week.
Okay. Helen, enjoy your vegan. Thank you very much.
You.
I really appreciate your time, and good luck with your vegan.
Thank you for inviting me.
And thank you very much. And hope to see you next time when you're not vegan.
Oh, good luck.
Bye-bye.